As you know, this year is the International Year of Chemistry. One of the planned activities is to ensure that first-rate minds continue to be attracted to this central science. The main field of application of chemistry is the medical field. Engineers and doctorates put into practice their knowledge to create new products and new technologies. You may not believe it, but chemistry is behind practically everything in the medical field. Sadly enough, high school students do not realize the diversity of jobs chemical studies can lead to, especially in the medical field. Why don't we go and meet a high school student and learn a little bit more about medical chemistry? Follow me. What kind of studies do you want to do?
Well, I thought about studying medicine to be a doctor, but the studies are quite long, so I'm not really sure about it yet.
Have you ever thought about relating the chemical field to the medical field?
I have, but I don't really know what it's about.
What do you think it's about?
Well, conception of medicine, I guess.
Chemistry is central to the majority of pharmaceutical products sold on the global market. It has an important role in the development of new drugs. A long time ago, it was discovered that plants had a therapeutic effect. Today, researchers are still discovering new substances and creating active molecules by synthetic ways. This molecule, synthesized in university laboratories or in the pharmaceutical industry, must be efficient for the human body, selective, non-toxic, bioavailable, etc.
How was a drug developed?
The development of a drug is very complex, risky and expensive because it lasts an average of 15 years. On 10,000 potentially interesting molecules, only one will become a medicine. This process involves several steps and develops many techniques.
I thought it was much more simple than that.
Step 1. Research and development.
Chemists are now able to imagine the activity of a substance before creating it by chemical synthesis. The first step of the research is to test a large number of molecules on the target implicated in a disease. This target can be an enzyme or a substance, for instance. These molecules are then screened on a battery of pharmacological tests to detect a possible biological activity, what is called screening. Pharmacological research determines the beneficial and adverse effects of drugs. It gives an indication of their therapeutic potential. A first selection is made according to pharmacological and toxicological criteria.
Step 2. Preclinical evaluations.
Hundreds of selected molecules must now be tested on animals. This is the preclinical evaluation, which lasts about 2 years.
Step 3. Clinical tests on humans.
Out of 10,000 molecules tested, only 15 are selected to be studied on humans in clinical tests.
How do we get to the finished product we find at the chemists? Step 4. Marketing authorizations.
The French Agency for Safety of Health Products, AFSAPS, analyzes the scientific data obtained in previous steps. The criteria are quality, efficiency, and safety. The medicine can then be authorized to be placed on the market. Then, clinical studies way to improve drug delivery to the patient. Tablets, syrup, capsule, and so on. It's then industrially manufactured, marketed, and made available to the medical profession.
What kind of doctor did you want to be?
Radiologist.
Oh, radiologist. Did you know that some chemistry is involved in radiology?
I had no idea.
An imaging study can be used to identify unusual things inside the body, such as broken bones, tumors, leaking blood vessels, and so on.
What kind of technologies are used?
One of the most famous types of diagnostic imaging is the X-ray, which uses radiation to take a static image of a specific area of the body. X-rays are used for different techniques, most commonly for conventional radiography. Another type of diagnostic imaging is the MRI used in tomography, for instance. Some techniques are completed by use of the contrast material that are introduced in the body. Here you can see an X-ray photograph. Thanks to radiations, bones and muscles appear in different ways. Bones, which have high densities, are white, and muscles and organs, which have a lower density, are grey or black. Here you can see everything is fine, nothing is broken.
When would we use chemistry?
Well, follow me to the laboratory. Stop. Don't forget your white coat. Come with me. It's precisely for the contrast material that chemistry is used. Certain molecules can be injected or swallowed by the patient. These molecules interact with the radiation that is sent to the body. Researchers have found certain types of molecules that are particularly efficient and allow the picture of the inside of the body to be widely improved.
Can you describe the different types of contrast material?
There are several types of contrast material. Iodine-based and barium sulfate compounds are used. The barium sulfate is the most common contrast material and is taken orally. The iodine-based contrast materials are directly injected into the. When iodine-based and barium sulfate contrast materials are present in a specific area of the body, they limit the ability of X-rays to pass through. As a result, blood vessels, organs, or other body tissues that temporarily contain iodine-based or barium compounds change their appearance on X-ray images. The last one is gadolinium. It's the key component of the contrast material most often used in magnetic resonance exams. When this substance is present in the body, it alters the magnetic properties of nearby water molecules, which enhance the quality of MR images. And don't worry, the material is absorbed by the body or eliminated through the urine.
So now can you think of any other application?
Well, I guess chemistry could help conceive a special material like band-aids.
Plasters? Yes?
Chemistry creates all sorts of material that can be used in the medical field. Filaments, knitwear, and elastic textiles can be used for plaster, splints, and so on. Chemical components can be added to the material and have a specific action on the wound. You can see antibacterial and healing plasters.
Research has demonstrated the use of cyanoacrylate in wound closure as being safer and more functional than traditional suture. The adhesive has demonstrated superior performance in different ways, such as the required time to close a wound, the incidence of infection, and the final cosmetic appearance. The US Food and Drug Administration has approved the use of 2-octyl-cyanoacrylate to close incised skin and protect wounds against common bacterial microbes, including certain staphylococci. Polymer is now commonly used by doctors and surgeons as a medical device instant adhesive. Which is interesting with this compound is that it can be applied in the form of spray or liquid, and it hardens at ambient air to form a solid gel. And finally, its final aspect allows a good and aesthetic protection from germs.
What about patches?
Here we have patches. They allow the local administration of active principle. These devices avoid the disadvantages related to the oral administration of these drugs. The fact that the drug goes straight to the skin reduces a maximum of side effects like digestive irritation. It's also practically invisible and practical. This is why it's used very commonly.
What kind of specific material do doctors use?
Biotextiles fulfill surgery demands thanks to their barrier effect, their absorption capacity and their reduction aptitude. Gastric ring in digestive surgery and ligaments or tendons in vascular surgery are classic examples of textile applications in surgery. Whether permanent or temporary, this type of implants has to be biocompatible and sometimes resorbable after the use. The association of medical textiles and biochemistry or biology leads to the development of clever technical textiles. For example, a new textile on which cage cells were grafted has been developed. These cells are full of analgesic which will progressively free itself and for a determined period in the human body. This invention allows the decrease of the pain after a surgery and for a determined period during the patient remission.
Aren't they like prosthesis or something like that?
And some biomaterials can be used for prosthesis conception. These technical materials may have a benign function, but they also can be bioactive and used for a more interactive work. Biomaterials do not include artificial biomaterials based on metal or ceramic. They may also be based on polymers or natural materials. Concerning polymers, there are two ways to use them. First, polymers can be functionalized and used at the interface material organic tissues by fixing ionized particles which allow a better reconstruction of bones or ligaments. Then resorbable polymers can be used as well as polymers functioning as related medicine. Biomaterials have many applications in ophthalmology with contact lenses, in orthopedic surgery, dental surgery and cardiovascular surgery. A team of researchers of St. François d'Assise Hospital is developing an artificial heart prototype.
So what did you think about all that?
Well, it was really interesting. It actually gave me a lot to think about. Thanks.
For more information, check out our website medicalchemistry.co.uk.